Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson of GMS on the Move. This is just called A Few Thoughts. And pretty much, I wanted to go live. I got a lesson to go into to go live, but I have to pick my mom up. So it's getting close to that time, so I didn't want to go live and then have to cut it short. To then have to start all over again. So I just wanted to say a few thoughts on something I watched yesterday dealing with Elder Yashawamba, and something that he mentioned. Pretty sure we looked it up before, but I don't remember. So much information out there that it's kind of hard to remember every single detail of everything unless it comes up, and we actually go through it and study it at that moment. So much to know, so much to learn. But something interesting he said was he mentioned the word Sodom, and he mentioned that it meant burning or fire or something along those lines. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it came up before, but I don't remember it. But nevertheless, it's interesting that America is spiritually called Sodom, in Egypt, because that's exactly how America is going to go out. When we read Revelation, the 17th chapter, it speaks about the 8th head in America, being that 8th head coming out of the 7, and then it says and goeth into perdition, meaning goes into destruction. So pretty much, when America was first being colonized by Esau, conquered by Esau, pretty much what it was the beginning setup for Esau's kingdom and empire that would rule around all over the world, to eventually be judged and destroyed, going to perdition, which means to be lost or to be destroyed. So it's interesting that the Heavenly Father called America spiritually Sodom, which Sodom means burning. It means like heat, fire. So I thought that very interesting when the elder brought that out, and which prompted me to look up the word Gomorrah. Now, America's not known as Gomorrah, but the word Gomorrah, when I looked it up, I believe it was Aymar, means heap. Like something that after it's destroyed, all that's left are heaps. And that's what happened to ancient. All of those cities, all 5 cities, were left in heaps. Were destroyed. So that goes into something that Elder Apostle Gabar always speaks about, called omen nomen, which means name prediction. And building on the word name prediction and omen, things of that nature, Elder Apostle Charges did a short video called We Are Prognosticators. And as he was breaking the word down, it came into mind, the word pro is before, and the word nos, G-N-O-S, means to know. So pro before, nos to know. So to know before. So a prognosticator, as he brought out in his video, based off of a comment that the brother Barack Obama from the main camp made, that Nate called us that. I don't remember that. Brothers got better memories than I do. But that's heavy. Called us prognosticators, and prognosticator, preacher, prophet, forecaster, all pretty much the same word, just different pronunciations. So the word prognosticator, pro is before, and nos, G-N-O-S, means to know. So to know before, and that is exactly the job of a prophet, to know before, to say before. And through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, with the words of the scriptures, we are prophesying the burning of America, Babylon the Great, aka spiritual Sodom, which, as Elder Yashwama brought out, the word Sodom means burning, or fire. And I looked it up, and it does mean that. So that's heavy. Everything is in place. Everything is in place. And what the Apostle John saw, I believe that was Revelation, the 15th chapter, when he looked through the firmament. He saw the fire burning. He saw America as a lake of fire, and that's the judgment, the future judgment for America, Babylon the Great, which will be totally burned up by thermonuclear destruction, along with the lasers from the chariots. You know, but that thermonuclear destruction, boy, that's gonna bring that fire to pretty much cleanse this land. Because when we read Leviticus, Numbers 35th chapter, it tells us that when you shed blood, that land becomes polluted. And the only way that you can cleanse that land of the pollution is the shedding of the blood of the one that shed the blood, that stained the land in the first place. And we teach, which the Bible teaches, something known as reincarnation. And the Edomites that are here today, which are the children and children's children of many generations of the ones that first came to this land to conquer it. So these children that are here are the same individuals that were here from the past. Because the scriptures say that the son shall not pay for the sins of the father, neither shall the father pay for the sins of the son. The soul that sinneth shall die. So in essence, the children that are here now, which are the children of those fathers, they are those fathers coming back, and they're about to be judged in this time now. And their blood is about to be shed, through this fire, through this destruction, for the cleansing of this land. Because Isaiah 26 says that the land shall no more disclose her blood, because this place has much blood upon it that has never been cleansed from before. So seeing that that's the case, what has to happen is there has to be a cleansing, and that cleansing has to be done by the blood of those that shed the blood of the saints that were in this land, in order to cleanse this land pursuant to the law. And seeing that that hasn't happened, and seeing that no matter what goes on, Jake trying to find reparations, this, that, and the other, and these devils are always curbing that. There's a reason for all of that, because the reparations are not going to come in the form of money. It's not going to come in the form of land here in America. It's not going to come by way of silver or gold here in America. It's not going to come by way of the apologies of these devils, whether militarily, socially, religiously, financially, or whatever the case may be. It's going to come by way of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai when he sends those ICBM missiles to cleanse this land and burn this land of all the impurities that are here. And that's how it's going to be cleansed. So like I said, it's very interesting that the name Sodom itself means burning, because that's exactly how America is going to go out. We read Revelation, the 18th chapter, says, "Rejoice over her, thou prophets and holy apostles, for the Lord hath avenged your blood on them." And that's what's coming, the avengement of the blood of the nation of Israel upon Babylon the Great, aka spiritually Sodom, for the wickedness that these devils have done, and for the shedding of the blood of the saints, and for the controversy of Zion, for putting their hands on the people of the Lord, the apple of the Lord's eye. There has to be a punishment for that. And that punishment is coming by way of thermonuclear destruction, that fire that's going to burn the spiritual Sodom, that's going to burn America, aka Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. This modern day Basra, this modern day Edom, this modern day Nineveh, this place that has been the bane of the existence of the Israelites, this place that is continuously becoming more and more wicked every day as we progress in this society. It's becoming more and more wicked, They're not amending their ways. They're not repenting. They're not trying to find out ways that they can get right with the Most High. They're becoming more and more wicked, inventing more and more wicked ways. We go back to Genesis, the 8th chapter, the 6th chapter actually, all the way to the 8th chapter. You know, the scriptures speak about the earth, you know, and man in it becoming more and more sinful, you know, as each day progresses. You know, so back then the Lord said he saw the wickedness of man, that it was great upon the earth. So that was back then. So how much more now, where wickedness has gone to a high level, you know, where wickedness can spread much quicker because of the technology that they have through this internet, you know? So this place is ripe for destruction. You know, this place is becoming more and more wicked. Elder Yashwam, I believe he did a video, and he also sent me something. You know, this is what was going on just before the flood, and that's exactly that's why the Lord said, as in the days of Noah, they were eating, drinking. I mean, he didn't say everything that they were doing, but he gave a general view of the things that were going on back in Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, back before the flood. And then he gave the well, actually Sodom and Gomorrah happened, you know, after the flood. But going prior to that, you know, prior to Sodom and Gomorrah, going back to where, you know, there was a lot of wickedness going on the earth. So you could just imagine, if the Most High destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah for that wickedness that was going on, you could just imagine, you know, the immorality and things that were going on back prior to the flood, you know, to where the destruction of that wall of water and that water that came down destroyed that land back then. You know, so just imagine now how much more wicked it is today, being that there's a whole lot more people. Because I did research back in the day. Just a thought comes in your mind, that's a spirit, you know, moves you to do certain things, look up certain things. I looked up the population of the earth. This was years ago, and I found out that in 1826, I believe it was, you know, through their census, they found out that there were 1 billion people on the earth. And then maybe about 100 years later, in the 1900s, then there was another billion people, so that made it 2 billion. And from the early 1900s until today, you know, there's been another almost 6 billion people added, you know, to the pot, so to speak. And the thought that came to mind is the reason why all of these people are here on the earth today is because the Lord is about to bring a judgment, you know, upon them. You know, now you're gonna have some that are gonna be judged to be delivered, which is in righteousness, but the majority are gonna be judged in destruction. You know, so that's a thought that came to my mind when I found out about the population of the earth. You know, and this whole situation with kill gates and, you know, and all this other stuff going on with the jabs and all that, you know, these are all ways that the Heavenly Father is using to judge certain people on the earth. But the ultimate judgment is going to be that fire, you know, that Sodom and Gomorrah type fire. But instead of the elements fusing in the heavens, which I believe the Lord will do that also, it's going to come in the form of these nuclear missiles, which these devils thought that they actually created, you know, for the purpose of protecting themselves and having a weapon that they can use to puff at their enemies, not knowing that that is the same weapon that so-called gave them a peace of mind and safety, that is going to be the same vehicle that the Heavenly Father is going to use to judge Esau's kingdom. And that, man, that is the ultimate master strategist move, chess move ever. You know, to make your opponent think that they're going to win by acquiring something that will make them superior, to then afterwards judge them with that same weapon of superiority that they have in safety. You see? So the Most High is the ultimate strategist, man. You know, it's amazing. You know, so there was just a few, thoughts that were rolling around in my head. You know, like I said, I wanted to go live. Lord's will, after I take care of this situation with my mom, I'll be able to do the live lesson, and go into it. I wanted to go into Revelation, the 7th chapter, Yahweh Bashem El Shai Ratazah. This morning I got up, I was reading through it and kind of, jotted down some precepts that were coming to mind. And I figured, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem El Shai, Lord's will, it'll be an edifying lesson. So, like I said, just a few thoughts in mind. And, Yahweh Bashem El Shai Ratazah, you brothers were edified, and Lord's will, I see you on the live, if it be the spirit and will of Yahweh Bashem El Shai. Shalom.